I'm back with the piece that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I have decided to make a little cluster. So I'm going to, what I did is I took some of DearJulieJulie's other pieces from her kit and tore them to give them a rough edge, and ink the edges, and I'm going to put this one close to that edge. And then I have some lace. This, I'm sad to say, is the last day I get to be a flamingo. It's been a lot of fun. This collaboration between Cara Brandon and DearJulieJulie, the fabulous flamingos, and the Flamingo Friday videotapes Ian makes for their collaboration have been a lot of fun. So it's hard to believe it's September, and summer's definitely coming to an end, and I am looking forward to the fall. I love the next several months and the holidays that come with it. So I'm so grateful that we have that to look forward to. So today, Cara and Julie have provided us with these digitals. This is Cara's, and it is a collage. And then this is Julie's. She had, you might have seen these in my last video. I actually did use these to make a folder, but I have another project I plan to use and put it in my journal. They're two large tags, I think, is what she intended for those, but I'm not going to make tags with it. I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do. And then there's two journaling cards here with an ibis and a flamingo. And then there's these lovely little poems, and the poems actually do lead us right into the autumn, and it's their poems. It's a poem about a friendship. So it's really very sweet poem. So what I'm going to do, I've been working on a journal, and I am going to be, I already used this, and I'm going to show you with this portion. I did show in the bingo, the Artsy August bingo, that I was working on doing slow stitching. And what I did is, if you watch that video, I explained how I printed this digital on, I had a small piece of fabric that I had made a mistake with the entire piece, so I had only the half piece to use. And what I did then is I printed it on the fabric, and then I put batting underneath it, and then I made this slow stitch collage. And you can see I did French knots. There's a butterfly here, there's a fish here, and there is a dangle here. There's beads at the top, lots of different kinds of stitches. I stitched around the bird. I added other fabric to it, some pieces of lace, rickrack, and ribbon. I did trim around this with pinking shears. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it in the journal, but I've decided I'm going to. So I'm going to be using fabric tack to glue it in here. I'm going to keep it close to this edge so that it doesn't interfere with the fold, with the binding here. Then this side, you can see I did put a fold in here. I am going to cut this, and I'm going to cut it, and I haven't marked where I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to use washi tape to tape this on the top, and this will allow me to, or whoever uses this journal, to lift this up, and I was going to lift it this way. There's flamingos here, and I maybe should have printed them upside down. But it doesn't really matter, because it would be difficult to journal on that, going that direction. So maybe I will put the washi tape. I'm not sure to think about this. What I would have liked is that this could be lifted up and you could journal on here. And this, you could see then that this is part of that as a spread then. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure. We'll work on that. Then with Julie's piece, I am going to find another page, and you can see I've already inked this here. I'm going to cut this. I did print one of Julie's other, from her kit, one of her other digital pieces, and this will have some of this on it, which is fine with me. I'm going to fold it over a page. I'm going to round the corners. Then I'm going to put these pieces inside here as tucks. And then the poems will go on the outside. And I'm going to paper clip it fast to the journal, but I'm also going to add, not with the paper clip soap, I'm going to probably staple this into here, and I have another one for this side, and remember that'll be cut off. And so there is a little tablet, tear-off tablet, and the pockets will be here, so a tag, the tucks will be over here. This could tuck into it, and also I could put a tag or a journaling card or something into those pockets. So that is my plan. I think I'm going to put a Velcro dot on here for a closure then, but I'm also going to secure it onto the edge of the book with this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to make a writing board for in the journal, and most of you know what that is, but a new person may not. This then will provide a hard surface to go under a page. For an example, if this page, if the person wanted to write on this side, they would put this to help. It's going to be difficult to write over that no matter what you do. So that probably isn't a good example. So cancel that because you're not going to be able to write over these things. Not very easily. But on another page where, let's say, there would be a journaling card or something underneath it, you put it underneath here and it allows you to write easier. Gives you a hard surface to write on. Anyway, I like to stick those. I tuck those usually in the center of the I can't think of what's called, but in the center of the journals, here, in this area here is where I would tuck it then. And it fits usually very nicely in there. It doesn't have too much bulk. All right, and then if you want to see when this collaboration is finished, I will complete the journal, and then I'm going to do a walkthrough of the journal. I'll post that on my YouTube then. So I'm going to get busy and start working on the elements I want to put in here. If you're going to stick around and watch me work, you're welcome to do that. I love to have company. If you would like to, at the end, please like and maybe subscribe and leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And also at the end of the video, I will put the links in for all the other people in the collaboration. As you can see, the back of this is not very attractive looking, and normally with these slow stitch pieces you just put another fabric backing on there and turn it over on the front and stitch it down. But because I'm going to put it in the journal, I'm not going to bother with that. I am using, as I said, the Fabric Tack glue. I find this to be a fantastic glue. And got a piece of loose thread here. Probably would have been a good idea for me to really brush over the back of this to trim off and brush off any loose threads. But this is my first time attempting this. I'm new to slow stitching and to adding something like this to a journal. And you don't know until you try it. Get the lid back on my glue. Too much glue on my fingers. Turn this over. And as I said, I want to stay centered somewhat on the page. A little bit of an edge on the end here. But I didn't want to get too close to the spine. And there's a piece kind of sticking up a little strange here, so I'm going to glue that down. Now, here it is. I keep a rice bag handy. I actually learned that from Lori Marie Jenkins. And I'm going to plop that bag of rice on top of there, so that until it, for it to dry for a little bit, help it to adhere to the page well. Now, I can go to the next item, and to do that, I'm going to cut this page. So I have to do that off camera, sorry. I have a very small crafting spot. And Sorry about that. Oh my. And I knock it completely out of view. Sorry about this. There we go. Okay. That's still too long. I guess I will have to cut it here. If I had, if I were doing this, and it wasn't with the collaboration and doing the daily things, I might have thought of sewing this in, and then allowing it, hinging it in some way so that it could open this way. I actually still could do that. And then I wouldn't bother with using the, well, I could use the washi tape on the other side. Maybe that's what I'll do. It's a little awkward to work with that. Oh, I do have a pencil mark right there, so I did cut it too short. Well, that's okay. Maybe I like that idea because then it could be flipped out this way and allow it could be written on here. I could put something else under there. This could be flipped out and the writing board used. It would be a little bit awkward, but journalers figure these things out. I'm going to put a little score line here so that I know exactly where to fold this. This would be a little bit wonky to do this way, but it's right about in here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go there. So one thing with scoring is that I sometimes don't seem to be able to stay. I think I got off track here. And possibly because I have this at an angle. And it might not be cut very straight at all. Well, let me see here. Let me see if that measures up. I would like to get one of those glass mats that a lot of people use. I think they're a fantastic work surface, and I think it would help with trying to measure things while you're working. Well, I need to work on getting maybe a little bit larger working space. That will work. Okay. Well, I thought it could be a little bit closer to that, so I don't know that that's going to matter. Let's see. I think I want to ink this a little bit before I put it down permanently. I think these tiny little flamingos are so cute, and the fact that it's so light, I think it'll be very easy to journal in between on the white space. And I think what I'm going to do, cut the washi tape, and I'm going to put it through the glue stick because washi tape is not really permanent, which sometimes that's a good thing. If I can get this turned the way I want it to go. I'm getting more glue on my thumb than I am on the washi tape. Okay. So we get this to lay down. And I could have gone up there a little bit. Let me see, do I have time to lift that maybe? No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little piece of tape there rather than try to of course. Now, there we go. It could be down a little bit lower, but I'm not going to really worry about that. It's not bad at all. So there's a flip, and I could put a pocket or something in there. We'll see. even a little belly band with a tag stuck in there. But I want to allow this to be a writing space, so maybe just something small to put in there. So that's that one. As I work on the journal, I might add other little touches to it. We'll see. Now I want to do the piece for Julie, and that's going to require me cutting. So again, to ink this. I did pre-ink some of it, but oh, I want to round the corners on this. I keep hitting that, sorry. This is the crocodile corner rounder. Okay, we have that. Ink this. I'm using green. It's Forest Moss, which is the only green I have. I would love to have a larger assortment of inks, but then I have to buy less digital if I buy more ink. And that wouldn't be fun. So then I can take, and I have, oh, wait, I did these on thinner paper, so I don't want those for the tuck, so I'm going to use the ones I printed on a cardstock. I'll cut those out. Normally I actually cut these on my paper cutter to get a nice straight edge, but I'll do it this way for now. The poems and the images that I'm going to put on the front, they can be on a thinner paper. So I think I'd like to put it in here, and you know, maybe I'll round the corner on that as well. Not perfect, but pretty good. Oh, I should have thought about that before I did it. Doesn't matter if I have all the corners rounded. That would be fine. I'll do the same with this one. Ink those a bit. And so for these, I'm going to just use my art glitter glue. which I love for this sort of gluing. And I'll glue the edge, just two sides because I want it to be a tuck. Line it up here. And this one, do this. Now the tablets, if I can find them. Oh, and I need my tiny toucher, my Tim Holtz tiny toucher. And I have, I guess it's, I don't know how many sheets here. I think that'll be okay. Now I could cover the top of this with washi tape, but oh, I missed that one, so that one doesn't go in. I'm trying to keep it in camera range, and I have to stand to do this. Alright, hopefully that's good. And this can kind of tuck in there, like that. Okay, now we're going to have these on the outside, so I do want to cover that with something. I'm not sure, but I think what I'm going to do is look for scraps that are similar to the digital, and I'm going to use pieces of that to cover that up. Oh, I have these cut out in the thin pieces, so I don't have to fool around with that. All right, so I haven't really thought about this exactly. I might want to find some lace or ribbon or something too to put with that. Not sure. I had been using some lace within the journal, so maybe I'll try to find a piece of that. I had this pink. I don't know if not exactly liking that. I'm thinking I will put the lid, if I can find it, back on my glue. Oh my goodness. Messy, messy desk. And I wonder sometimes if I did have more space, would I have it any cleaner? I don't know. Probably not. I would just make a bigger mess. Here's the lid to my glue. Okay, now let's take this. This is one of the things when I'm creating, I don't necessarily, I have to think about it, and so videotaping doing it, I don't know if the other ladies who do this so well, if they have everything thought out before they videotape. That could very well be. So I have to maybe rethink how I do this. Instead of flying by the seat of my pants while I'm taping. And again, someone mentioned how it's difficult to tell the right from the wrong side of lace sometimes. Well, I looked that up once, if there was an easy way to do this. And what I read was that it's, I guess, controversial. There's stitching that's raised. I personally think that's the back side. And the smooth side, to me, well, no, wait, no, I don't know. Maybe I have it the reverse. That this is the right side, and that is the wrong side. But then, as I read further, it said it's whatever side you think looks the best. That's the side that should be the right side. So, I don't know if that's a good rule to go by. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. I think I need something bigger to go on the back of that first. So I'm going to pause and take some time to think about that, and I'll be back. Bye. I'm back with the piece that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I have decided to make a little cluster. So I'm going to, what I did is I took some of DearJulieJulie's other pieces from her kit and tore them to give them a rough edge, and ink the edges, and I'm going to put this one close to that edge. And then I have some lace. I had another interruption there. Sorry about that. Here is the finished Julie piece from DearJulieJulie. I did use I folded it over the edge of the page. And I used a flamingo paper clip to clip it on. But I did also put Velcro dots on there, so it could just sit in the journal. It doesn't have to go over the edge. These are the two tablets. I finished the top of those, tucked them into the tucks there. I also covered the staples up at the top on this side as well. And then I started at the end of before I got interrupted, I was putting these torn pieces with fabric and lace in the poem pieces on the front and on the back, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. So that's the piece from Dear Julie Julie. And the last thing that I had mentioned with this make was that I was going to make a writing board. So I thought I'd quickly show that. I did go ahead and do a few things on here. Because I wanted to use up the pieces of paper that I have rather than reprint, I had this piece printed and I was planning to overlap it. This piece was a little short. So what I've decided to do was put some of that on here. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but we're going to give it a try. You could use glue. I did glue these 2 strips down. But you could also use Mod Podge. You could use a decoupage medium of any kind. You could use can't think of what it's called right now, but anything that you would use as a glue base you could use on these. I like to use the Mod Podge for this. It works well for me, and I also put a coat of it on the finished piece to, I think it gives it a little bit of a, finished look, a little bit of a shine maybe. I don't know if I don't like a shiny Mod Podge finish, but a little bit like a matte kind of finish. That I like. Just go around the edges here. The mat that's underneath here is actually a mat that I got at the Dollar Tree, and it's great for these kinds of projects. Turn the edge over, push it down. Guess I could use this. Help me too. Some people use a credit card to do this part too. And fold it over this way to do that, and this way to do that one. And it sticks out a little bit here, so I can take a scissors and cut that on an angle a little bit. You could do the corner of corner tuck and get that piece off. Add a little bit more of the Mod Podge to this side now. And the substrate for this was a thinner piece of corrugated cardboard. It's not real thin, but it's not a real thick piece either. sometimes getting it centered can be a little challenging, but work at that. Still not right. I thought that I made the edges straight, so looks like it's a little off. It is off. I might be able to correct that. I think I will do that then. I will use a ruler and very gently go across there with a blade to cut that off to make it even. Anyway, that's how I would make the writing board. And either side, I might put additional decoration on what I would call the back of it, or I might just leave it plain so the recipient can choose which side they want for the right side. But I will let this dry, and then I'll put another coat or two. I'll put at least one more coat of Mod Podge on both sides of this. And I might ink the edges, and then I'm going to tuck it in the journal, and it's good to go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed our Flamingo Fridays. I hope you stop by to see the finished journal when I post it. Thanks. Bye-bye.